Welcome back, guys, to Dude Ranch DIY. Jake here, and today's video is about my dump trailer. As of recent, I've gotten a bunch of questions about the trailer, what this big arch thing is on the back, how I use it, how it was built, and you know, other guys looking to kind of do a similar type of thing. So today's video, I'm going to do a little bit more in-depth on the trailer. I know I've mentioned it a little bit and even showed it working, I think in a video way back, like, I don't know, it was maybe like video 15 or something like that. But today I'm going to show you guys everything a little up close and personal on the Sure-Trac 7x14 low profile HD dump trailer. That's a mouthful.
Okay, so as you can see, I have some wood in the trailer now. This was all scrap, you know, rotten wood that was too far gone from the wood yard that I'm going to be taking to the dump. So I'm not going to show the trailer in action today. I'll have to do that another time. But I just wanted to go over the trailer and this whole arch thing because I've gotten, like I said, a bunch of questions about it. This trailer was kind of my brainchild. I thought up the idea. I had seen trailers similar, you know, with these log arches. That's what this thing is. I'll cut to the chase. It's a log arch. The main function of it is to serve as a lifting point to load large logs into the trailer. It utilizes this 10,000 pound winch here for pulling power, which I then run the cable up to various snatch blocks and pulleys and stuff on those big D-rings and shackles. And then I can, you know, run the cable out from the arch, which acts, as I said, like a lifting point down to whatever log, you know, maybe on the ground. And then it picks it up and rests it on the edge of the trailer. And then I can reset the cable depending how long the log is and pull it in. This arch is the third version of the arch, believe it or not. I had two others on here that weren't nearly as beefy. This one is made out of 2x4 by quarter steel tubing. You'll notice that I have it oriented in the 4-inch, you know, dimension. That way, when the pulley is pulling on it, you know, all the force is going, you know, in this view, left to right, back towards the winch. That's why I have these big brace legs here, which are 2x2 by quarter. And that's what the first initial arch was made out of. It did not have these brace legs. It was just a freestanding arch on the back. It worked great until it didn't. It met its match a couple times. It bent. We heated it up, bent it back, put on some, you know, patch welds, and then finally it was time to, you know, make a second one. We made a second one, and that one worked great until, again, it didn't. The second version, we added on these legs, and they seemed to give it a bunch more rigidity, but then I ended up pulling a frozen log that was frozen to the ground, I think, early this past spring. And it just bent the arch to beyond repair. And that's when I gussied up and laid out the money for, you know, bigger materials. And I know I've mentioned my buddy Chris, the welder, in previous videos. He is the one that did all of the welding. And, you know, I kind of gave him an idea and let him run wild as far as, you know, how to reinforce it and kind of make it all work. It has big 1/4-inch plate, you know, kind of like gussets on either side. I know the sun's kind of in the way now, but there are 2x2-inch, you can see it better on this side, 2x2-inch reinforcements even on those gussets. There are more gussets up at the top. And the first arch that I had, we had drilled holes through the steel itself to put shackles through to then run the winch cable through. And then I think that's ultimately what helped lead to its demise, because it had these big holes in it for the big shackles, losing structural rigidity. So on this one, I got a big piece of, let's see if I can zoom in. It is 1-inch steel plate, and I had it custom CNC'd to have a 2x4 hole in it in the center, and then 2 big, I think they're 1-inch holes for those clevis pins to or shackles to fit through. So that's just welded on there. There are no holes anywhere in this whole thing. As you can see, it's solid. And then to attach these brace legs, they're actually tractor 3-point hitch pins up on the arch itself and then down on the trailer end, which brings me to how it's mounted to the trailer. You can see that the trailer, the Sure-Trac, has these great stake pockets all along to make your sides. I didn't build sides because I milled this big, these 2 big slabs of red oak, so they just kind of support themselves. However, I was going to mount the initial arch to these things, quickly realized through talking with Chris that that wouldn't be a very good idea because they're just so flimsy. You can see the size of this. I think it's like 1/8 inch compared to this 1/4 inch by 6 C-channel. So we welded in these pockets, and then again, there's more tractor 3-point hitch pins that were drilled through, and then you'll see welded as well, and they're bolted. So they work great to support these legs. So the actual arch itself, we went over the brace legs here are mounted to these pockets. We fabbed up some more stake pockets to mount the actual arch to, as you can see here. The arch is secured by these bolts. This nut is actually popping out. The reason that this nut is on the outside as opposed to these two where the nuts are on the inside is because Chris realized that after he had welded on the stake pockets, he couldn't reach his welding torch all the way into the center. So these ones are out on the outside. That one actually cracked. I think I over torqued it. You'll notice they're a little, they're not all perfectly straight, but it works. My main goal with this whole thing is that I always wanted to be able to remove it if, the need came. The tractor fits under it with the chipper on it, no problem. Fits under most bridges and everything. It is 10 foot 6 inches to the top of the arch. But if I need to remove it, I can by just pulling these couple pins on the brace legs on both sides, and then it's removing these 6 bolts. Unfortunately, it is so big and heavy that I can't physically lift it myself. And the tractor actually isn't tall enough to be able to remove it. But you can remove it with a skid steer with some pallet forks on it, no problem. Or I can use, actually one of the trucks at work has a big Grapple. It's kind of like a crane truck that I drive, and I can pull it out that way as well. It works really, really good. I'll show you the other side. It's kind of a mirror image over here. We got the big pockets, and we mounted the pockets here because these Sure-Trac trailers come with these big, beefy, like, I guess it's 2x6 or something that they put the lights in, and you can see it runs all the way down. So we figured that by tying these into this, it would serve as a really good, structural support for what the arch is doing. I've moved some really big logs with this thing, guys. I've moved logs over 9,000 pounds. It really is amazing. I can move bigger logs and log lengths than most, tree service trucks can pick up in one shot, just because either they're limited by their length or they're limited by the weight that the computer system allows them to pick up. So it's pretty amazing. The reason why I move big logs like that is, one, to get them out from customers' houses when I'm doing tree work, but I also have 2 friends with sawmills. They help me mill these boards, sideboards for the trailer, and I help them pick up big logs and bring them to their sawmills. So they give me customers that way. Now, as far as the front goes, the Sure-Trac trailer, I bought it purposely because it was one of the few dump trailers that I saw on the market that had this, what they call a bulkhead, this part that goes up. And I saw that as an opportunity. It doesn't normally come capped like this. This was custom that Chris did. So you can see we got more 1/4 inch plate there that he welded on and capped it off. But I wanted that bulkhead to act as a mounting point or a high point for the winch. That way I wouldn't, the winch would be up out of the way of the deck of the trailer, and I could run, you know, back and forth and do whatever I had to do, disconnect it, free spool it, pull it out, you name it, it's up out of the deck. The logs as they build up won't get in the way, and it works really well. Now this, because I have it loaded and I have a tarp in there, but there are, it's fully boxed out underneath the winch, and on either side out here, Chris put in supports. Can actually see the marks from where we painted, but that's where he welded in two more 2x2 supports directly underneath the winch to give it a little bit more rigidity. This thing has been great. I haven't had any issues at all, and it actually serves as a great spot when I load the tractor with the chipper and grapple on. I rest, you can see where it's a little bit rusted, surface rust there, and over there I rest the grapple on there, and the whole tractor and chipper setup fits right in the trailer, which makes it super easy. I converted the winch. I put on these big Anderson connectors, which are great. Let me try and put this back. Okay, so that's great. I just pull that out, and then I go into here, and I have my controls. I got a battery charger on board. I can hook it up. I normally have, that's what this Velcro is for, you can kind of see the mark. I normally have a solar panel on here, which acts as a trickle charger, just in case I'm not somewhere where I can actually plug the battery charger in. It'll always be charging. And then it also charges off the, you know, very small trickle charge off the, you know, truck when it's running. But to operate the winch, I can run it off this big deep cell battery that came with the trailer, or I can take out, if I'm doing a lot of pulling, I can take out these two Anderson cables. I attach one to the winch, one to the truck. As you'll see right here, I have it running from one of my two batteries on the truck with big, I think it's 0 gauge. It's essentially like this size, welding cable, I think it was called. I bought it on Amazon. So that way I can actually run the truck if I'm doing a lot of pulling, and it won't deplete my battery. That way I never get stuck with a load in here and I can't dump it. So it's kind of foolproof. I have a lot of backups on here just because I always want to be prepared, and it works really well for me. I recently purchased a wireless winch remote that I'm going to have to hook up probably over the winter when I get a little bit of time, because right now I have a cable or a controller that runs off of a cable, and it plugs in right on that top little port there. The lead on it is about 14 feet, which is great, but unfortunately that's the length of the trailer, so it doesn't do me much good if I'm by myself and need to hop out. But I will get that wireless controller wired up relatively soon. Just a couple other things. Like I said, I got a tarp on here for if I'm hauling anything light that could blow away. The trailer also, let's see if I can show you guys. Has this great controller with a, oh, the cables are really cold, so they're not very flexible. It's popping the magnet off, but it does have a magnet on it. The trailer, if I lift it up, has all this underbody storage where I keep big straps, just cribbing, some of my blocks and snatch blocks, rigging cables, log tongs, I think you can see in there. I got 2 pairs of log tongs, a small street sign, which actually comes in real handy if I need to slide a log past something. It acts as like a slippery flat surface that I can use to get one thing by another. I got some other big straps if I'm going over rocks and stuff that I don't want to damage or fray the winch cable. And then I have a whole nother spare winch cable or synthetic winch cable, winch rope right there. So I like to be prepared. I pretty much carry everything with me that I'll need at any given point at all times, because sometimes I go pretty far off the grid to get these logs for these guys, or if I'm on a job, I don't want to have to be running back and forth. So that, I think, pretty much covers the Sure-Trac dump trailer. I'm not going to go over any of the features really of the trailer itself. I mean, it's a great trailer. I got my spare tire there. Oh, one thing that I do use is these great stabilizer legs. I guess it's really intended for loading equipment, which I do use sometimes when I'm loading the trailer on a hill or something, but I can put those legs down when I'm pulling a big log, and it puts a lot of stress on the back end of the trailer, and the legs on either side will take the brunt of the force and not put it on the hitch coupler there on my truck.
All right, guys, so like I said, this was just going to be a quick video, kind of overview on the log arch on my Sure-Trac dump trailer here. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you guys have any questions on about anything I went over, or you want any more in-depth answers about any aspect of the trailer, I'd be happy to answer them. Just put it in the comment section below. I hope this did answer some of the questions that you guys have been commenting and wanting to know about, like what this thing does, how it works, and how it's all fabricated up. It is custom. As far as I know, there are no companies out there making purpose-built log arch dump trailers. I know there's ones out there with the whole hydraulic, grapple arm and stuff. They're really, really expensive. So this was kind of a down and dirty way to accomplish what I needed to do, and it really works well. I'll have to, next time I'm using it, winching and skidding logs into the trailer, I'll have to make a video on that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this one. As always, if you like this kind of stuff, please hit that like button. It really helps out the channel, and it means a lot to me. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching all my videos anyway, hit the subscribe button. If this is the first time you're watching, hit the subscribe button. We got a bunch of cool stuff like this. We do firewood, tractors, and everything. So I think you'll enjoy it, and it'll help me out. Like I said, any comments or feedback, put it in the comment section below. I'm Jake. This is Dude Ranch DIY. I'll see you here next time. Thanks for watching.